Hi everyone. I'm Joanna. I run Tiny Megaphone. It's a consultancy slash hangout sesh for small business owners. My passion is equipping folks without a lot of resources to kind of rig the game in their favor when a lot of things are stacked against them, such as Mark Zuckerberg. And so that's what I'm all about. And I am so excited to introduce these two speakers, these incredibly qualified, fantastic people who I've been privileged to work with. First up, we have Nat Davis, who is a genderqueer health coach for young adults at You Do Health. So they specialize in empowering individuals to embody their most authentic selves by uncovering their own internal answers to self-actualization. It's pretty dope. In a world that constantly attempts to homogenize you, Nat supports folks in standing out and confidently expressing their own unique identity. And if that is not the most badass mission statement, I'll fight you. And next up, we have Deandra Crudup, who is a licensed clinical social worker with over 16 years of experience in the mental health field. And she practices independently as a mental health therapist in Raleigh, where while she runs Counsel Connect, which is an affordable online therapy service. It's like BetterHelp, but better. That's the tagline.
Way better.
We didn't work with. So she knows firsthand the difficulties that clients face when navigating the mental health system and attempting to access care. We all know about that. So daily she works to bring awareness to the importance of mental health via her practice and social media, and hopes to empower those in need to take control of their lives through therapy. Hello, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm delighted that you're here, and delighted that I don't have to be the expert. So just a little bit of housekeeping up top. I don't like taking you into a video meeting unless you know where you're going first. So I'm very excited. The first thing that we're going to do in this event is a short meditation that Nat is going to guide us in. We're just going to take a moment to pause. What a gift to be able to pause in the middle of our days. We're so busy. We're so exhausted. We're about to discuss a kind of heavy emotion. And so we're going to breathe and stretch and just kind of get comfortable in where we're sitting to your own comfort level. And then we're going to discuss 3 different little discussion topics around the topic of rejection. It'll be loose. If you have questions or comments throughout, I'll be checking the chat. I'll bring some stuff up if it's contextual. If it's a good Q&A for later, I might save it for the end. And we'll end at 1:30 Eastern and end our formal discussion. So if you need to cut out or go to a meeting and leave, our feelings will not be hurt. However, if you stick around, we'll have about 15 more minutes for some individual Q&A. And lastly, you're going to get followed up with a link to the replay that you can share with friends. And we'll have some cool materials and more info about how to connect with speakers. We'll have some like cool worksheets. I'll send you my zine. It'll be fun. So yeah, with all that, I will hand it off to Nat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joanna. It's so good to be here. Yeah, full disclosure, 6 minutes ago, was not in a calm, cool, collected place as I was having some technical issues. So just want to like bring some reality that wherever we're coming from, even a minute into a minute before this event, that we're taking a slight pause. So just 45 minutes to kind of clear the day. So I like to put my hand on my heart and a hand on my stomach to just kind of tap into my body. If you want to notice where you can keep your eyes open or close them, whatever feels comfortable to you. And kind of do a full body scan. Notice where you're sitting, if you're standing, if you're sitting on the ground or in a chair. Notice your feet. Just take a moment to tap into what is grounded into the earth, whether that's your feet or your legs or your bum. Take a scan from your feet up to your legs, your knees, your thighs, your hips. Try to relax any places that hold any tension, anything that you don't need to support you right now. Just take a second to let that go. Notice where your shoulders are, if they're up by your ears, if you can take a few moments to roll them forward and back and allow yourself to relax. If you want to take in your own time 3 deep breaths. A long inhale through the nose. Hold at the top for a few seconds, and a long exhale through the mouth. Sigh it out. You can do that in your own time a few times. Exhaling through the nose if that feels good. And just taking a second to be here now. We're not doing anything else. We're entering this space together. I'm so grateful that y'all are here with us. Cool. Maybe think of some questions that you have or some where you're coming at this with, just to kind of have an intention for where you're coming from and maybe what you'd like to get out of this, just to make this intentional for you as well. And yeah, in your own time, you can release your hands and return your breath to its natural state. Take any natural movements that feel good. Just loosen up. Be here now. Thanks, y'all.
Love that.
Oh, thank you so much, Nat. Just take a little quiet pause to bring us all back.
Mm-hmm.
What a gift to be able to do that. Thank you so much for leading us.
Thank you.
Isn't that lovely? We should do that before every Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning.
We should always do this before meetings. So, well, wonderful. Now that we are in this comfortable, rooted place, we're paying attention to what's going on in our bodies and our minds. I feel ready, and it sounds like maybe we all are ready to have our discussion. So, we're actually going to kick this off with a little vulnerability, where the first discussion topic is we're going to ask ourselves, can we share our own experiences with or feelings about rejection in our own lives as creative people? And I'll actually hand it to Deandra to kick it off if that works for you.
Sure. So I experience that all the time. Being a therapist, it's just very difficult to kind of get away from that feeling because you're so self-aware of it. But anxiety is my thing. Like I tend to worry and talk myself out of posting things and rejecting myself before I even put the content out there. My anxiety makes me go to worst case scenario. If I post this, they're going to hate me and people are going to unfollow me. Actually, what's the worst that can happen? I'm going to lose people. And so I end up experiencing that even before I put the content out, the fear of what are people going to think about me. That happens a lot. Mm-hmm.
That's immediately I'm remembering sending the invite email on Thursday for this event, and I lost a subscriber off of it. I was like, all right, be a big kid, but it's okay because it's consensual. I only want to work with folks and emailing folks if they want to be there. And so, yeah, I think that personal experience with the anxiety of rejection is so real. I think when we were talking before, Nat, that's something that you've shared too, right?
Yeah, definitely. I also experience anxiety and just the fear of what might happen or what might not happen, and kind of starting off in a place of scarcity rather than abundance, of thinking that maybe there's not enough or I'm not good enough, or comparing myself to other people out the gate. This person's better than me at this thing, just kind of already in my own head about why I shouldn't do this thing, or, worst case scenario of what might happen. And as a coach, it's cool to kind of tap into like, what is the worst case scenario, and then meet that and like think about that, visualize it. You lose subscribers, maybe you don't want them in your circle. That's okay. Is the worst case like actually that bad, and kind of like neutralizing some of that fear if it's not, something that's actually going to serve you. But I've been rejected all over the place and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Creatively for sure, romantically, relations, jobs, worked really hard on a cover letter or, in a job that I really wanted, and I just didn't even hear back, didn't even get an interview or whatever. So it's not even, kind of doesn't matter how much effort we put into it. Rejection just sucks.
Yeah. You're feeling that way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's cool to contextualize. So we're all entrepreneurs, which is we could have a separate webinar about that word and that concept, but we all own our own businesses. We're coaches, therapists. We work with people all the time. We basically put ourselves in a place to be constantly rejected professionally. And not only that, we're also creative people. I met Nat through doing stand-up comedy. Nat's also a fashion designer / collage artist. Like, you know, like we put ourselves out there a lot with these beautiful, like, little created things. And I think all three of us have shared experiences of just sometimes just indifference as well is sometimes worse than the email that says you're not the right fit, which is also, it's, I can't think of a worse sentence to say to another human being.
Right.
But that feeling of, oh my gosh, I put this out there and there's radio silence. I'm wondering if you could share anything about your experience with that.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I've posted content where I thought it was amazing. You know, I performed well in my reel and then I put it out there and 5 people may like it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did such a great job. But then when you don't get that feedback, you really feel like, was it worth it? You know, was that worth the time I put into it? And you have to just take a step back and really reframe that. But yes, I have worked really hard on reels, did my best dances, you know, said some of the things I thought were the funniest and not got any response or not what I thought I would have gotten. And you take it kind of hard, you know?
Yeah. That makes me kind of think of the concept with consent of like, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. But kind of nothing is a no, you know, and like a minimal response isn't. And so then, yeah, like just to, yeah, put yourself out there and you do put in the effort and you're like, this is going to be great. And I'm going to get 10,000 subscribers or whatever followers and it's going to be amazing. And then it doesn't happen. And it's either to a few people or to no one. And it's like, you know, what am I doing this for? Yeah, definitely relatable.
Yeah, and already we're fighting against an algorithm that doesn't want us to succeed. So it's like, oh man, I could really use a little bit of help. And we're talking about social media, but I'm also thinking about musician clients that I've worked with where they get the meanest emails back from bookers and venues. Bookers need to calm down, first of all. And like, you know, submitting to literary agents or publications. I have friends who are fiction writers, and the personalization of the rejection of like, we don't like this and here's 15 bullets why is really rough. So just wanting to, you know, we're obviously thinking about a little bit from a marketing perspective of putting ourselves out there and getting reception, but also thinking about gatekeepers and people who block access to things. I know Jam Phelps is in here, who is an incredible producer and mixer and works with musicians, and it started Dank Studios because of male gatekeepers in the music industry where producers shut people down and make them. So sometimes you can be creative because of rejection. But I'll scoot us along to our next discussion topic. Unless somebody wants to chime in.
I'm just noticing the chat. Simona said, you know, having the courage to even show up and dance that way. And I wanted to say too, just like living in authenticity, you know, just in general, like putting oneself out there in any capacity, whether that's just like walking out the door and going to the grocery store or doing a creative endeavor and like really putting your heart and soul into something. Just the potential of rejection is there always. So just kind of like being able to have some resiliency, some armor against that, or some tools to, you know, face that. But I think just even living authentically comes with that risk. And so, yeah, to even put yourself out there and do the real is challenging. And so,
yeah, it is very. Yeah.
I love this. I'm seeing some other. Thank you so much, folks, for sharing the chat and allowing us a little peek into what's going on with you. I love this. A friend. Someone here says, all I need is one fan and I'm going on tour, and the one fan is herself. I love that. And Corey, I would love for you to stick around so we can talk about your private dance account. And yes, Beth, I think we'll take that question at the end. So thank you guys so much for chiming in. Please do keep saying hello.